Hi guys, welcome back to another video. On today's video I'm going to show you how to fit the Van X curtains into your Caddy camper van, whatever you've got. I've gone for the black curtains from Van X. So what you've got is you've got two curtains that are really soft material. You've then got a load of screws and some buttons and some clips that go on the edge, the windows, and then you've got four curtain rails which will go on like this, which will then bend into place, and then the curtains will sit on the two rails here, so one at the top, one at the bottom, and then go across to that. So they're blackout curtains. So yeah, I'm going to show you how to fit these today, so let's crack on.
So this is what you'll have in the kit. You've got your two curtains, you've got your four curtain rails, you've got the rail stoppers, and then you've got a piece of material on with buttons so that the curtains can be blackout. So they'll screw onto the sides, left and right, and then you can button the curtains up to the edge to stop a bit of light leaking through.
So this is what the curtain rails look like. You've got a channel down the middle, and then you've got a wide bit on the edge. So the channel down the middle is what the curtain's going to go into. So if you can see that, there's a little channel there. So the curtains slide down onto that channel, and then the wide bit you're going to drill through, and you're going to drill into the window frame. That's how it's going to be attached. So you want to put the wide bit against the window, and you're going to put these top and bottom on both windows, and then you put the curtains on. So first thing you want to do is measure your window frame to make sure the rail's the right width, and you can bend the corners a little bit because it is soft aluminium. Once you've done that, you can slide the curtain in. So I'll show you what the curtains look like. So this is one of the curtains. So I've gone from the black colour because I think it looks good against the grey. You can see all the tassels along the top here, so that's what's going to slide into the rail, and then you've got the buttons on the edge that are going to attach to the buttons that you drill onto the edge of here. So when I put up on the curtain, that's what it will be like across the top and bottom, and the buttons in the edge just to clip in to make it a blackout curtain.
You know, it should be good, shouldn't it?
Once you've measured and cut the rail to the correct length, the next step is to bend it. What you're going to be doing is bending the two edges. I didn't realise when I bought this kit that it actually doesn't come with a bending jig. So as you can see, we're bending it in the workbench. This isn't ideal, but it still worked pretty well. This stage is just a bit of trial and error, so you can just bend it a little bit, bend a little bit more, until you get the desired curve on the rail. Obviously, if you had a bending jig that you can buy from Van X, this would be a lot easier and simpler, and it'd be a quicker process. The next step is then to secure these rails into place. We did this by putting the rail on the window and drilling through the rail, so we knew that the hole underneath would be in the right place. It just acts as a bit of a marker. Once you had the mark, it would then pilot drilled into the window frame. Once you've got the pilot holes, you can then secure the rails into place with the metal screws.
So guys, we've just drilled the holes and screwed the first rail in.
You then follow exactly the same process to fit the three remaining rails.
Oh, because it goes like that as well, doesn't it? It's not going to be straight in line with that because all the door's bent.
Yeah, it is bent.
Yeah, right.
We did find that the screws supplied in the kit weren't that strong. They did tend to snap. So this is why we're doing it with a screwdriver here instead of using the drill, because I believe the drill was too powerful and did snap the screws. However, we did find that some of them did snap even by hand, so we ended up using self-tapping screws.
Oh, there you go. That'll be good.
Once you've screwed the rails into place, the next step is to slide the curtain on. This is quite simple, but is a little bit fiddly. It was made harder by the fact that we hadn't used a bending jig, so our bends had actually pinched the rail, meaning that there was a smaller gap for the curtain to slide on through, so that's why it was a little bit fiddly. So if you're using a bending jig, you shouldn't have this problem.
So once you put the curtain onto the rail, what you want to do is get these end plastic bits, and you just pop those on the end, and then you've got a screw through there to fix it in place.
That is the curtain on both the rails, as you can see. It slides along really nice. It's actually quite fiddly to get these rails on. You have to bend them into place and then drill through the metal and then screw them in. The screws that come in the kit aren't very good, they're quite cheap, so we did round a few heads on that, and I've looked online and a few other people have had the same issues as well, so hopefully the guys at Van X might be listening and they might replace these screws and put some better quality ones in, because that would just make the kit a little bit better. Just a little recommendation, but I'm sure loads of people have done it and it's fine, but I've just found that the screws aren't great. But the next step is now we've got to put on button poppers on the edge, just so that when you close the curtain, you can then button it up to the edge like this, so it's going to stop the light coming through. So as you can see, you'd put them on like that. So to do that, you've just got these little button poppers, just these little ones here, so you're just going to mark them up and screw them into the side there. And then once that's screwed in, you can obviously just clip that button onto it like that, and that's going to keep the curtain nice and shut, stopping any light coming in. And also it's going to stop people looking into your van.
So you put one popper on, so pretty much that just pops on like that, and it sticks on.
So when securing the button catches to the window, place a bit of blue electrical tape on the window and then press the button from the curtain against it. This then left a mark, meaning we knew exactly where to drill the pilot hole. Again, these screws tended to snap quite a lot. We put all of these in by hand with a screwdriver and they still tended to snap. They're very weak and small screws, so I'd say on this bit just be really careful, guys. Just do it really slowly and just don't use that much force and they should go in okay. The curtains are done. Obviously you can't see inside to the van. That's how good the blackout curtains are, but what a challenge that was. But let's have a look how good they look. They do look amazing, as you can see. We've got the poppers on the side, so you just pop them off like that, and then you can just slide the curtains along. So the curtains do look really, really good. If you're going to do this yourself, guys, following this guide, I'd recommend buying some other screws just in case. The screws that came in the kit aren't very good and they do snap. We've snapped probably like 5 or 6 screws. So we pilot drilled all the holes and then we actually screwed them in by hand with a screwdriver because the drill was obviously too powerful. Even by screwing them by hand, they still snapped. So they are cheap little nasty screws, so you might want to get some self-tapping screws. That's what we did along the top, use some self-tapping screws just because they're stronger and they're better. But yeah, I hope this video has helped you out. I'd really recommend getting these curtains. They look absolutely amazing from the inside. They fully black out all the light. They look really good. The black versus the grey looks amazing. And our van is pretty much finished now, so in the next video we're going to do a van tour and show you everything we've done. But it's looking amazing. The black versus the grey looks so good. So if this video has helped you out, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video.